Hello, my name is Kevin DeWitt, and I've been listening to a lot of videos on YouTube that is actually coming up with a lot of points that I've been speaking about for a number of years. But before I say anything and go into all giving my viewpoints about it, I'd like to point out the fact that a lot of my points and suggestions are not going to be your standard expression of what you hear, what you've been hearing. And to say this is that I do have a Christian background. I was a Christian for over 20 years, and I've come to have a new way of thinking, not because of Christianity, but because I studied this. This is the Bible. Now, the interesting thing is, what this book is saying and what Christianity teaches, it's not the same thing. And I've addressed that while I was in the church at the time. And without going into all the details on that, they wasn't giving me satisfactory answers, and a lot of it avoided answering my questions. So I ultimately left the church. But I kept studying the Bible as I do and still today. Because in the Bible is a lot of truth. Is it the 100% unadulterated Word of God? No. I can tell you that straight up. But the truth it holds and leads you to is serious. And the wisdom that it shares ain't no joke. And I can honestly say, as of this day, because I practiced what I learned in reading the Bible, not based on Christian principles, because Christian principles is not what the Bible speaks of. So, over the years, I changed as a person. I changed the way I think. I changed the way I do, and became a more results-oriented person because of it. Because at one time in my life, I kept on wondering, why am I always trying to do good and can't? It was actually happening, and the person I come today, I come to actually like. And when I think about how I have been in the past, in my younger years, I don't like that one at all. It's not brainwashing, but it is coming to clarity. And as some people say, enlightenment. And it's all based on truth. The truth. The truth is singular. I'm not talking your truth. I'm not going based on just my understanding per se. Okay? But I live by what I know and I understand. That's all I can do. You can't live by what I don't know and don't understand. you know. But my point in saying all that is, when it comes to relationships in this day and age, I hear a lot of things, and I see a lot of things, like the mindset of what the people call today's man, to the modern woman, and all these expressions, which I'm not even going to try to remember all the different stuff that comes out, because there's so much stuff being said out there. I ain't even trying to keep up with that. And in all truthfulness, it ain't worth it, because you'll end up getting confused and all that other craziness. Learn what you need to know. Live it. Keep it simple. Not complicated. Keep it simple. Now, as far as relationships, even based on what I understand in reading the Bible, um, relationships or marriage in particular, um, based on what I've studied and reading the Bible, is a man and a woman coming together to build a family, and they're working together to do it. Now, in this modern day woman thinking thing, it's like a lot of these women just want to be catered to. They want the man to be their servant, which is not at all practical for the man, because he's just left hanging. And I've seen this mindset start to kick in when I was a teenager, because it started off when people were saying, or the young ladies were saying to each other, us girls got to stick together. Some of y'all remember saying that. Us girls got to stick together, and they did. In spite of the fact, and I've heard women say this, and I'm not talking about YouTube videos. When I'm referring to these things that I'm saying it through firsthand experience. Firsthand experience talking to women as I grew up. It's crazy, because they will defend and back each other up even when they know that they're wrong, or the woman that she's backing up is wrong. I've even heard some of them say it and just straight out confess to me, because I do talk to women and I hear what they're saying, and some of them will tell you straight out, yeah, I know she was wrong, but got to back my sister up. Now, as a black man, quote unquote black, um, that's other things. Um, and I'm listening to this coming from my sisters. And it's like, okay, y'all gonna stick together hard and strong like that, even when you know you're wrong, or your friend is wrong, or your sister's wrong, and you're still gonna stand by your sister and not correct her? Yeah, I have a problem with that. And as a lot of these people are talking on these multimedia systems that are out there, um, a lot of these black women are gonna be single, and as some people describe, die alone, because that mindset is seriously toxic. I'm about the truth. I ain't gotta like it. It's just got to be the truth, you know? Because the truth in any circumstance will actually work to your benefit, because then if there's a problem involved with anything, if you accept the truth, you can actually resolve the problem without having regurgitating back in your face over time. That's just nasty. Then you end up eating your own vomit because you refuse to accept the truth. No, I ain't trying to do that. And I've been trying to discourage women from doing it over the years, and even had many conversations. And I'll say this, having been married twice. The first time for 18 years. And I never had any intention on leaving that marriage, but there is not but so much BS I'm willing to put up with, especially when that BS makes me miserable. So, certain things you just gotta cut off. So, but that's another story. But I also want to make it clear, I'm not speaking out of ignorance. Um, in order to keep and maintain my peace, if I have to, I'll be alone, but I'll be content. You know. Um, but what I would like to encourage people, if they do want to get into a relationship, first of all, these women have to come off of this mindset of being independent. Okay? Because if you're going to be in a relationship with anybody, what you need to learn to be is interdependent, so that you can actually build together. working together. And I do mean literally working together. When you're both working together to achieve the same goal, that's how you get results. You give 100%. That 50-50 stuff don't work with me. At all times, you give 100% of what you can. Sometimes the balance shifts from one to the other, you know, but you already know the mindset is right for us to work together. You also understand life happens. Life happens, and everything don't go as planned, but you continue working together. A lot of today's women want to be in control, and it's not enough to just be in control. They also have to be the one who makes the right decision. It may not be the best decision. It may be a good choice that's being made, but it's their choice that they want to be enacted upon. That also causes problems, because if you're not willing to work together still, it's like, get off this power tripping thing. You got to get off this power tripping thing. That's how different cultures and in different black heritages all over the earth were allowed or did allow to have women leaders as well as men leaders, because it wasn't a male female thing, to try to stay in charge, but who's able to handle it and do it right. Yes, there's some other things that go on too, where different kinds of power struggles come up, but people will be people regardless of what color their skin is. People will be people. But when you have a people that are looking to actually come together and build, that sets a mindset, and relationships are developed. So in these relationships, it's like you set your own priorities. In this country is built on commercialism. Literally. It is seriously built on commercialism. Everything about this country, the United States, is built on commercialism. So everything about it. That means our education system. Yes, our education system is even built on commercialism. I've watched it over the years. First, they just wanted you to be ignorant. They wanted to be a white thing, where they have this or that, okay? And then black folks are fighting to get, equal treatment, and I understand that. That's the truth, okay? And to this day, still fighting to get that same equal treatment. But now the education system makes it appear in this day and age that children in urban schools, especially with these charter schools coming in, trying to seem like they're getting better education through these charter schools, when actually preparing them to be employees. The majority are not. I've been watching it. I've brought my own children through them. Okay, I know firsthand, and even after my children graduated from them schools, I'm keeping in touch with people that are also in those same type of charter schools and learning the same thing. So I'm like, okay, and nothing has really changed. It just took on a new look. So now it's like, okay, they're getting them prepared to work in these companies, whether it be corporations or manufacturing companies of whatever type of skill set, but also hindering their social skills and abilities to just interact with one another. I see it. I'm going to call it for what it is. And there's a lot more going on than what I'm actually just saying. I'm saying this because all this interferes when a man and a woman in particular, black man and a woman, are trying to get together and build a life together. It creates conflict, especially when all these degrees of education and certifications and certificates and pieces of paper of achievement uh, have to be involved or play a part in making it appear that you're better because you have this piece of paper that says you have this education, whatever acronyms that may follow that piece of paper. To me, that stuff is garbage. Yeah. My thing is, you know what you know. And it doesn't matter how you got to learn what you know. The fact is, you do know. Maybe I shouldn't say it doesn't matter, but it's not as important apart from the fact that you do know. For example, you wanted to study to be an architect. Okay, you want to study to do this and do that, specialize in this and that. Yes, and you go to school for it, and you pay out your pocket for it. Okay, you achieve your goal. You got your piece of paper stating that you know what you know. I have some college experience. I've seen what goes on in a lot of these colleges. Okay, there are people that come there to actually learn and apply. Then there are those that actually just copy off of the one next to another, and the teachers allow it to happen. I've watched it happen. I actually had to fight just so I can just learn what I needed, what I came there to learn in some of these places, just to learn what genuinely with understanding, instead of just copying off another person who actually figured it out. Okay. But at the end of it, you get all these different degrees. How many of you actually get the opportunity to apply, or I should say, implement what you went to school for? You apply for jobs, and it started off, you don't have the education, so when you go get it, and you apply for the job, then you don't have the job experience. And they won't hire you because you don't have years of jobs experience, and which don't make no sense. But you still got to pay those bills, so you got to get a job someplace else. So you end up doing something that you didn't plan on doing, so that you can pay your debts. Now, all this still has an effect on the relationship that you have in your personal life. Because if your focus is your career, how much time and energy will you put into your spouse and or your children? Now, here's this part of the things where I'm going to bring out and bring forward, where I said I'm going to come across with some different thought processes than what you've been hearing, because the focus is not the career, but the focus is the family. Your career is up there, or work is up there. It doesn't necessarily have to be what you planned on being, but it actually turns out to be you're doing something else. And a lot of men get put down because they don't have this extreme money making career, what a lot of people refer to as six figures. To me, that's a bunch of crap. All you need a man, and as far as I'm concerned, all you need is somebody willing to work, and a man with a vision that works toward that vision. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I did that. And I saw the results. I saw the results. There's been times in my life where I made very little. then there's been times in my life I did very well. And I hear all these figures that are thrown out there. You need thus and such amount of money in order to raise a child. And if you add more children to it, it's just that much more exponentially. And then it's like, I never did believe in that. I never did. I still don't. Me raising my family wasn't based on dollars and cents. I knew if I did what I was supposed to do, whatever I didn't meet, God would fill the gap because I'm doing what He told me to do. Not according to what the Christian church tells you. Because a lot of this stuff with this, the thinking of the way a lot of these women think today is coming through the church. And it's not according to what's written in the Bible at all. I'm telling you, I know this is not the case. So anyway, I'm suggesting change your priorities. Make your family your first priority. Okay? Because all the stuff that you can have to take care of your family can all be taken away. But if you stick together as a family, stay in the habit of working together as a family, you'll be able to overcome just about anything. Why do I say just about anything instead of everything? I ain't gonna lie about it. There's some things that just overtake families, and that usually results in death. Okay. But I gotta deal with the truth of the matter. When a family does actually stick together and work together, whatever comes against them, they can overcome it. Because I find that the Most High is all about family. But it's our decisions that we make here and now that affect the family and actually tear it apart because we're not doing things in line with what He tells us to do. There is a priority to the way things are, even how to live on earth, on this earth in harmony with the earth. But we're not being taught how to do these things. I've seen these things. I've seen the difference in when you do and when you don't. And there's repercussions that's going to come behind all this. And it's happening all over the earth. So, as far as a relationship is concerned, people really need to focus on getting their own mindsets together first. Get their priorities in order. Start applying the principles of living peaceably and in harmony with one another first. Okay? Before even getting involved with anybody else. So that by the time you are. I heard this one pastor said one thing, had said this thing. I don't even know who it was because his name and everything was not displayed up. But I never forgot what he said. He said, as it is written, he that finds a wife finds a good thing. And you hear the women, yeah, woo woo, cheering them on. Like, he says, I didn't say he that finds a wife, or not find a wife. I didn't say he that finds a girlfriend or my significant other. He clarified that. He said, he that finds a wife. That means she's already wife material before he even met her. It's not that she learns to be a wife after she gets married. So he that finds a wife finds a good thing. And I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of these women just ain't wife material out here. That's why I'm not married now. Okay. I wanted to throw that out there. I'm just tired of it. I'm just tired of the attitude. And I've been dealing with these attitudes as it developed from me, not from me, from the time I was a teenager. I watched this stuff fester, and women just embrace this stuff, and this system in this country just catered to it all the way through, all the way through, and I'm tired of it. And I'm not dealing with that. I'm just not. I don't have a stomach for it. People are going to say, and women, there are going to be women out there that's going to say all kinds of stuff. I've heard it. I've heard it straight to my face. They say men like you just can't handle a strong, independent woman. That's a lie. I can handle a strong, independent woman. I don't want to handle a strong, independent woman. And there's why. A strong woman can be strong, but you never know it until she has to show it. A strong, independent woman, and she's going strong in that thought process of a strong, independent woman, it's very arrogant and demeaning towards men. And a lot of men walk away from those women because that's not what they want to deal with. It ain't got nothing to do with their money. Whether it be, it doesn't matter whose money. It doesn't, because a real man, he's not interested in a woman's money. He's interested in the woman and the relationship that he can have with her and what they can build together. It's not based on her money or what she has. It's based on his own vision in particular. And a man with a vision can have a woman that be there to support his vision. Ooh. A strong woman to support his vision. Man, y'all can do some things. But when you got so many women thinking on that independent mindset, how can the two come together? You can't mesh together and be on one accord when you're still thinking independently. Nothing much that he says is going to be in line with you because what you say have to go. And just because he does one thing one way and you do the same thing a different way, but the results are the same, being the strong, independent woman that you are, got to have it done your way because most of them, they got to be in control. Got to be in control. And a man, and I say man, not a male, a man, when I say a man, he's responsible. And that's whether he has much or has little. Like I said, I've been in both places. Have much and have little. A man handles his business with what he has until he grows into more. Everybody's got to start somewhere. And sometimes you start off at the bottom, you work your way up and get up there. Sometimes you don't go no higher than a certain level. But once even at that point, at that level, whichever point that may be, okay, if you're sustained and you're comfortable where you are, I didn't say lazy, you're comfortable where you are. And I know there are women that can be happy at that state as well, because they don't need all that. Every man out there is not trying to be like lifestyles of the rich and famous. I don't even like that stuff. Personally, I don't want it. I really don't. I don't like a lot of their designs, but there are people out there that do. I'm like, cool, more power to you. Okay, help yourself. I like simplicity. I may have a whole lot, personally, quote unquote. I may have a whole lot because I've also been there. I've had a lot. But I could have had more, but I didn't want it. I didn't want it. And then thinking about some different moments in my life, you get around certain people that have all this stuff and the mindset is totally different. And it's like, yeah. And that gets into the bouginess of all this and that, and trying to keep up with the Joneses and keeping up appearances and all that stuff that goes with it. I don't want to be around all that. For me, that's all artificial. I like being with real people. And that's whether or not you got a lot or a little. I don't care. I just like being with real people. There's so much fakeness going on in this day and age. How can you sustain a healthy relationship if you're all into the fakeness? You're not even being real with yourself. Because you're trying to keep up an image. Anyway. But that's how a lot of relationships fail. And all those things that I just pointed out, these are all factors that help kill a relationship. Because the relationship is not the priority. It is things. And it needs to be let go. Yes, all things are made to be enjoyed. I'm cool with that. That's what you like, that's what you like. But, moderation. Maintain balance. I would encourage people not to just be overdone in one particular area. It's like, no, balance it out. Mix it up a little bit. It makes a huge difference. I'm doing this video because it's been on my heart to do it for quite some time now, and I've been putting it off, and I didn't even want to get into this kind of thing. But, yeah, I do want to encourage people to actually really begin to think for yourself. Don't just copy what someone else is saying, but actually see what's going on around you in your life. Pay attention to it. And take the time to understand the truth of what's really going on. And see the imagery for what it is. And get to the truth of the matter. So we can get out of this rut we're in as a people. Because that's the only way you're going to be able to stand strong in the midst of all this wickedness that's going on all over the world. All the oppression, all the crap that we have to deal with in this country. You got to deal with the truth. So I said my little spiel about this thing, and I do encourage people to really take the time and get in tune with each other. Be your true self and the best of yourself that you can be. You want to be in a relationship, be ready to share yourself with somebody who's worthy. I guess that'll be it for now, unless I have something else to say later. Thanks for taking the time to listen. Peace.